Live Farmer 73 here. Guava, everybody. How y'all doing today? It's good to see you. I wanted to talk about a couple of things that, okay. I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I'm about to make a decision with, and clearly some of y'all about to make a decision on it too. I didn't want that to go down so low. Some of y'all have told me that you're about to make certain decisions as well. And I kind of wanted to talk about it, and I just wanted to give my idea of this because I've been playing with this idea for years, like even before I moved in this house. So it's been over a good 10, no, it's been around 10 years, 15 years, something like that. How you doing, Angie, DP, Freestyle, Gardner, Faye, Angie, Seaway, Purple, Iris, Happy Mac in the house. How you doing, my sister? Laura's Garden, Rhea, G. Cole, Black's Tropical Homestead. You must have seen this. I don't know, your spidey senses must have been tingling or something because y'all, how many years was that? 2 years ago? I was about to pull the trigger on one of these things. And then I told y'all I've been looking at them for years before that. Black Tropical Homestead in the house, everybody. I have been looking at them years before that. Remember me telling you? Man, this is an endless cycle. It's an endless beast right now of preparedness. And I wish I was on StreamYard right now because I will bring y'all up and give your opinion. Okay, Black's Tropical Homesteads. I wish I could click on this and highlight it. They should really let you be able. YouTube, if you're listening to me, you always talking about something, you watching me and you like what I do. YouTube, make it so we can highlight our viewers and the people in the chat like StreamYard. I would like to get rid of StreamYard, YouTube. Come on, step the game up. Because I would like to highlight my people without having a third party to do that stuff with. Okay. Now, and there's other social media platforms too that can do that. YouTube, let's go. Okay. All right. Black Tropical Homestead says, where'd you go? Oh, say, ha, we here, El Jefe. It's been about 2 years since that conversation. Yes. Black Tropical Homestead. Hey, Angela. Hey, Jackie. Black Tropical Homestead says our freeze dryer was a total lifesaver during Hurricane Helena. Now, that I've been writing down a lot of things, and I'm going to release a video, let you see what I've done. Hey, Precious SoCal Garden. Hey, TLC in the garden. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm not on the fence anymore. I'm not wondering, should I? I'm not trying to guess on whether the price is worth it or not, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. I'm here to talk about what I am about to do or what I have done, and I'm going to talk about why I did it. Okay, and I did actually leave one of my props that I like to show people what I'm doing. So we may have to, I don't know, we'll come up with something, okay? Hey, Katina Brooks, how you doing, sister? It's good to see you. So two people I know for a certain fact, I know them personally. I've been in their presence, Homestead Heart and Mr. Hart on the Homestead Heart channel, and Black's Tropical Homestead. They both have, these are people I know personally. It's not like people on YouTube that I've watched. I'm talking about I know these people personally. We broken bread, okay? They have freeze dryers. Now, this hurricane did a lot of changing for me. I just put away all my jars. I had ready for y'all jars, cans, things that I've canned up myself, and I've also had the dry goods storage that I have for y'all that I showed you a couple days ago, maybe a week ago. I showed you that the survival bucket with the food, the dry goods in it that I bought. All right, let's break it down here. I'm going to say hey, there are a few more people, and we're going to get right into it. Number one, if you can see me, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me and hear me, give me 2 thumbs up. If you can see me, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me and hear me, give me 2 thumbs up. Give me that confirmation. Thank you, everybody. It's freezing here, by the way, if y'all wonder why I got on my pimp coat. It's time. Let's see. Thank you, everybody, for that confirmation. Katina Brooks said, now that I have an actual house, I want a freeze dryer. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm going to take a poll. Everybody, thank you for that confirmation. Sister Kimmy, Jamie, TLC, DP, Von Wheel, LB45, Wanna Be Crafty Grandma, Linda B, Mama Zeke, Green Reaper, Tyler, Kim Burdock, Chris Turner, Jackie, Keisha Gregory. Okay, Missy Hawk, we ain't going left on this video today, okay? So I'm sorry, sister, about yesterday's video. That went berserk. We stand on topic today. During the hurricane, it let me know a lot of things. And I'm going to put this out here so you guys, I'm going to give you the way I've been thinking for years, and then I'm going to tell you what has boiled it down into making this is not just a purchase, this is an investment because it's a lot of money, okay? That's the only thing kept me back all these years. It's a lot of money. I don't care how you cut it. I don't care how much money you got in your pocket. It's an investment. All right, I'm going to tell you what made me finally want to break down and get it. After the last 2 hurricanes, we were affected. The first, Helene, we was affected highly, and I don't know what it was before that. I'm running out of, I can't even remember all these storms anymore. We were affected by that one too. Now I'm going to take a poll. Now, raise your hand or say me if you were affected by the hurricanes. If you were affected by the hurricanes, because all I've been talking about after the hurricane, yeah, say me if you were affected in any way. Even if you didn't get hit by it, did it affect some of your family members? Okay, somebody, you may not live in the path of these hurricanes, but some of your family members were in that path and they live here with me. So if they were affected, that means you was affected, because I know y'all got a phone call saying we coming to lay on your couch, or can we borrow about $1,000 till Friday? You were affected, okay? You were part of it. Just because the storm didn't hit you. Okay. I've been through this so many times over the last 15 years, and me and my wife, well, I personally had to bug out, what was that, 2014, 2016, whatever it was, because the flood waters came up here. I'm going to tell you what finally got me. Once this storm came and we knew we were leaving because the flood waters was coming, when Helene was coming, we were preparing to leave. And everybody saw me getting my trailer together and all of that, and we mounted all the cars up and was ready to get up out of here. One problem. The problem that kept me from canning way back in the day. Because you cannot take a bunch of jars with you. You can't take a bunch of jars with you. Now I'm going to show you the math I did. You may escape the storm. You may escape, but you let me see. Black's Tropical Homestead said we lost thousands of dollars in food, all except the canned and freeze goods. Okay. Let me break this math down to you. I've been calculating all day to justify what I'm trying to do. Listen to this. Now listen close, okay? Because I'm gonna try my best to read my own handwriting. Check this out. For the price of a medium harvest right freeze dryer right now, listen close. For the price of a medium size harvest right freezer. Y'all know the price of that. Okay, if not, Google it real quick. Because I don't want to get nothing started. And the prices differ all across the country. I averaged 40 of, you can get 40 of those freeze-dried survival buckets that I showed you in the beginning of the week. Remember that? Remember, how many people remember me showing you the prepared freeze-dried survival kit? Okay. To buy one freeze dryer, you could purchase 40 of those survival kit buckets. You could purchase 40. Now, I know a lot of people was like, woo, that's a lot. No, it's not. No, it's not. 40 ain't that much. Inside each bucket, there's 132 servings. Servings. Now, I wanna visually give this to you, and then I'm gonna get in here because I really wanna answer some questions and give some statements. So give me 1 second. I just want to grab something, anything, right now. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is good enough. This is good. I'm gonna grab anything right now just to give us a little idea of when I always tell people I hate when people play with words. This is a 1 pound jar of jam, okay? Just grape jam. You would think this is a serving. If you're not overweight and you don't gotta care about calories and stuff like that, you probably never read the back of any of the jars and stuff or care. Unfortunately, I'm not a member of your club. I have to read everything I'm about to put in my grocery cart and in my stomach. So let me break this down to you. If those freeze-dried survival kit meals are 132 servings, you have to look at the serving size. In here, in this 1 jar of jelly, and you know me and you, if you like peanut butter and jelly as much as I do, every peanut butter and jelly sandwich got half of this jar of jelly on it. Is it just me? Is it just me? But I like my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches sloppy and running down my arm. I like a lot of peanut butter and I like a lot of jelly. Little bit of bread, a lot of jelly, a lot of peanut butter, okay? So, when you look at the serving size on this jam, a serving size is 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon is a serving in this jar. So this entire jar says there's about 42 servings in this jar. 42 servings. Now, what is that 42? That 42 servings is damn near a third of the servings inside that survival bucket. inside the dry goods emergency kit. If this is 42 servings, let me see, 42, 12, 14, 16, 18, 118 servings, something like that. Okay. No, not 100, but you get what I'm saying. This, if you got 3 jars of jelly, that's almost the same amount of servings in that survival emergency kit. When you start talking about packing on calories and nutrients and proteins and stuff like that, a jar of peanut butter, let's do a peanut butter. Because this all, it makes sense. It's all relevant because you need to know the math before you start purchasing. Watch this. Okay. I told you I'm a visual learner. I wish I had all my props. Now I don't know exactly where this big old 55-gallon drum of peanut butter came from. But let's talk about it. Okay. This got all the protein, nutrients, and everything you need in it, right, for survival. Peanut butter. Now I eat this by my doggone self. That's doggone shame, but it's true. This has only 56 servings in here. This is only 56 servings. How much is each serving? 2 tablespoons. I told you how I like my peanut butter and jelly. Stick with me. So with both of these, we're almost at the survival kit status for a little under $7. Same nutrients, same energy, same sugar, same proteins. Stick with me. Now, 40 of those survival meal kits, that's not a lot of buckets. Here's the other thing. You are chained to whatever they feel like giving you to eat. Whatever they fixed in those things already, that's what you have. That's it. You can't go anything outside of that. Whatever they got in those packets, that's what you got to eat. How many homesteaders do I got in the room? How many homesteaders? How many gardeners? Gardeners, homesteaders? Anybody have livestock? Chickens, quail, guineas, blackstrap homestead, pigs sometime, I don't know. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to tell a homesteader's truth right now that you don't hear much, and I told y'all, I'll tell you. There is a lot of food that gets wasted on a homestead, and us homesteaders are too ashamed to tell you. I'm telling you, a lot of food gets wasted because there's not enough time in the day to be canning it all, to process it all, to dehydrate it all of your fruit trees. I got a fruit tree with literally hundreds of persimmons on it, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I told you I might even sell some of the persimmons because I can't. But every time I do something like that, I feel like I'm stealing from myself when I can't hold on to all of that food that I just accumulated. The squirrels, the deer, all of them can't eat all this food that we grow. That's why my garden got smaller and smaller and smaller. How cool would it be to be able to just freeze dry all of that and keep all of the nutrients in it? That's one thing the pressure canning and water bath canning don't quite do. Now, I got another one. Now, see, I wrote down a bunch of stuff. with water bath canning. And I love canning. Let's not get that twisted. I love canning, okay? My canners are sitting in my face right now. All three of y'all, all three of them. I love canning. I love pressure canning. I love water bath canning. I water bath can in a heartbeat. Here's a problem. Sometimes I don't want the food cooked. You ever thought of that? Sometimes I don't want to prepare the meal first and then put it in a jar. And then say I got some chicken breasts. I want that chicken breast to stay raw because I don't know what I'm going to want to fix in the future. I don't want to have to. You might as well season it now because when you pressure can this chicken breast, you're cooking it, right? When you're pressure canning, you're cooking the food. I don't always want my food cooked. I don't always want my food cooked. Okay? Was my slip showing? Sorry. Slip was showing. So, with freeze drying, you don't always have to cook the food. If I want raw chicken breasts in the future, they'll come out raw. All I got to do is reconstitute them, right? Explain cooked. 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 When you pressure can your food, it cooks it in the jar. That's why I don't cook my meals first when I pressure can. I'm going to tell you why I don't cook my meals before I pressure can, because it's going to cook it in the jar. And I put my chicken in raw, I put my ground beef in raw, and I cook what is called raw pack. I raw pack everything because to me, if I don't raw pack it and say I cook a meal first and then throw it in a jar and pressure can it, I'm going to be eating like baby food because it's already been cooked and now it's going in a jar. It's cooking it more for another couple of hours. I've done that before, and I said after I've done that, I'm only going to raw pack everything from that, and I never cooked anything again. For years now, since Homestead Heart taught me how to pressure can, all I've been doing is raw packing all of my meats. That don't sound right. I don't cook anything first anymore. Or you get that, everything look like it's about to be solid until you put your spoon in it and it's like pudding or baby food. And I just don't like that. That's a turnoff to me. Okay? You end up drinking a jar full of like meat juice or something. It just turns me off. Here's the thing about freeze drying. Not only are you not losing any nutrients, but you can store your food raw. So I have a choice on what I want to do with it later in the process. Now I'm going to touch on one more thing. I touched on price. Now I'm going to touch on one more thing. And then we're going to go to the floor and I'm going to actually ask y'all questions. I'll answer as much as I can. And I hope Black Tropical Homestead, there they go, still in here. Okay. I did the math. Each box, each one of those survival meal kits, right? Each one of those survival meal kits, if I purchased 40 of those survival meal kits, those are dehydrated meals, okay? So if I did have the 40 of them, instead of buying the freeze dryer, this is all relevant. If I have 40 buckets, that's the price of the freeze dryer. Each one of those buckets with 132 servings in them, each bucket weighs 12 pounds. Only 12 pounds. That 5-gallon bucket was only 12 pounds. Okay? So 40 times 12 was 480 pounds. That was 480 pounds of food. Nope, I'm sorry. I'm doing that wrong. Yeah. That's right. That's 480 pounds of food. That's 480 pounds of dry goods that you can pick up and throw in the truck. Versus how many jars, how much does jars already constituted with liquid and juices, how much does that weigh? Now, just to be relevant, I have a bucket that we put together in Walmart the other day. This bucket got to weigh over 50 pounds with all the canned goods and everything inside of it, being kind of relevant to a bunch of jars full of food. So you got 50 pounds. Now you do 50 times 40. That's 900 pounds. If I did 40 5-gallon buckets of food that I got from Walmart or jarred canned goods, that weighs about 50 pounds. You're talking about 900 pounds in your vehicle trying to leave, or 900 pounds. That's almost literally a ton in your trailer. Most trailers, average trailers that anybody owns have something like a 1,300 pound weight limit on them, something like that. That is almost 1,000 pounds of food taking up. I got one more for you. One more. I can't put a glass jar inside my bug out bag. I can, but if I'm really leaving and I'm really bugging out with all the rest of my gear, glass inside of your bug out bag, you're asking for trouble. You ain't asking for it, you're begging for trouble. You're begging for it. Okay? Versus how many Mylar bags full of dry goods could you put out in your bug out bag to jump up and leave? Thank you for that, C. Dean. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for that. Whew. Now you get my message. I thought of something that is not necessary, but it is relevant. Have you ever made a meal so delicious that you wanted your family in another state to taste it? But and I know, it's almost impossible. Like, by the time this got to you, even if I sent this to you on a frozen truck, it wouldn't taste right. We don't know how they treated it. The jar might break, whatever, right? I could send you a freeze-dried whole meatloaf in the mail, and you can taste exactly what I tasted. I'm thinking crazy, y'all, but this world has changed. So my mind is all over the place. I could send food through the mail without worrying about the jar crashing or breaking, and you get in trouble for stuff like that. Now here's the last thing. I know the mailing thing was a long shot. I just had to put it there. I'm taking you in my mind right now, okay? I'm cradling you in my brain. It's a dangerous place up here. All right. I have several places that I store all of the food that I can. I'm out of space. I did a video about 4 years ago. Tell you, can you please not speak in caps, please? Thank you. Appreciate it. I have I did a video about 4 years ago on I'm running out of space to put all my cans and my jars, all the food that I've been canning over all these years. I don't have anywhere else to put it. Freezer makers here, storage places that I got, hidden locations, I'm out of space. So I'm not as quick to can things anymore because I don't have anywhere to put it. The space that jars take up and the weight that jars take up versus freeze-dried foods. Freeze-dried foods. There is no comparison. There's no comparison to how much space freeze-dried food takes up and how much freeze-dried food weighs versus how much glass jars and canned goods weigh. Now let's do something again because I love canning. I think you should do both. There's a place for canning and putting your food away, and freeze drying is for when you need to pick up and go. Your house is fully stocked and is ready for the end of times. Your house is fully stocked. Got it. But what if the floods are coming and you gotta go? Which has happened to all of us over these last few years. You're not picking up 55-gallon buckets of 50 pounds apiece. I agree with you need to do both. Whatever's left behind, you can salvage if God allows it. But for the most part, when you got to pick up, load your truck and go, man, there is no question. Let me just give you. This is a whole bag of those breakfast cereals I was telling you. There is no question to that. There is no question to freeze-dried food versus a jar. If this was already made in a can or in a jar, that's going to weigh significantly more weight than this. This, I'm not going to do that. I'll crash and bust my toe. I can drop this on my toe and I'll be okay. This, I can't. I'm going to lose a toe. So, with that being said, you guys, I wrote down a bunch of stuff and I'm making sure I got through it all. I even talked about mailing the meatloaf. Okay. With that being said, what say you? Black's Tropical Homestead. Hear ye, hear ye. All right. Let me see what y'all got. Let's get back in here. Everybody, don't worry about the trolls. They punched in for work today. They got their 8-hour shift. Let trolls do their job, okay? I'll handle that later. Do not disrupt the room over no trolls. They got a job to do too. Let them go. All right. All right. Delisha, I'm going to start where my screen starts, okay? Delisha says canning is first. TE says, I agree with both. Nancy West says, too many. Foraging isn't always possible. Okay. Sharon Compton says, so true, and freeze drying is more nutrient. That is one that I want to talk about. If Black Tropical Homestead or anybody else is in this house today, or anybody that owns a freeze dryer and canners, because I want to know somebody that has both and has done both. I don't want to talk to somebody being biased. I want to talk to somebody that does both. Okay, let's see. Wannabe craft grandma said both. Okay. So we need all of the above when it comes to prepping. Amen. I can't pronounce your name, my friend. Ticia. All right. I think I said your name right. Sorry for butchering it if not, okay. Let's see. Black Tropical Homestead says, far as freeze drying, I wish I could highlight this. Far as freeze drying, I can freeze dry exactly. I can freeze dry exactly what I'm cooking. That's exactly what was my point. And I kind of went off trail, right? I kid you not. Okay, here's a question for my homesteaders that I was trying to get to earlier. Oh, I got an excess of eggs. When you get chickens, you know you let some eggs go to waste. You let some of your fruit trees go to waste. Apples, pears, plums. If I could freeze dry that stuff instead of canning it, because some of the stuff I want fresh and I want it to be a snack and be crisp, you know? Let me see. You were saying Black Tropical Homestead, you were saying something about freezing candy one time, right? And I never understood that, but give it to me. Deborah says, I've made raisins from grapes several times using my oven. Okay. Black Tropical Homestead says, now for everybody coming in the room, just so you don't know, Black Tropical Homestead, they have a freeze dryer and have been freeze drying for the last 2 years. They said, we learn how to can, but freeze drying is first for us. We do worry about canned foods overheating. That's not a freeze dry problem. Black Tropical Homestead said again. Now let me tell y'all something. I had some food out on Freedom Makers, and they were not in a temperature control setting. And I promise you, everything in the jars looked good. But I knew how hot it was in that non-temperature control setting. Will I be eating it? Nah. Nah. It made me a little nervous because I felt one of them jars, felt like he was about to bubble up. None of the seals was broken or nothing, but it kind of scared me. So temperature control is very important when it comes to canning. You are so right, Black Tropical Homestead. Let me see. Black Tropical Homestead say, I freeze dry lots of food at the end of summer so we can get through the summer. Okay. Veronica Rieger says you do not need electricity to can. That's very true. That's very true. But when you're pressure canning, you better have some kind of controlled heat source. You better have some kind of controlled heat source when you're pressure canning, like propane. So there you still have an energy source that has to be used. It doesn't have to be electricity. Now, water bath canning your fruits and vegetables, that's a whole nother ball game. But you are right. But when it comes to pressure canning your meats, okay, you do need a source of energy. Let's see. Denise Brown, we have both. Good. Beatrice James, I have both. Black Tropical Homestead, freeze dry candy paid for our freeze dryer in a week. Y'all kept telling me about the freeze dry candy. I was like, what? Hey, Chime Moss, freeze dried ice cream. Let me see. Oh, Wannabe Grandma says, exactly. Cook scrambled eggs with peppers, onions, mushrooms, freeze dry, great. Well, see, that's great and all. I want to be able to freeze dry raw eggs. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I ain't going to always want hot peppers and chilies and onions in the eggs. I might want these eggs for a recipe in a cake, or I might want some scrambled eggs and sausage or something. I don't always want Tex-Mex eggs. So that's where I'll be having a problem. And that's one of the pluses for me when it comes to freeze drying is because I have an option not to pre-cook my food or have to prepare it to be a meal when I'm done. I can preserve all of this stuff to be ingredients for something else down the line. And my hand ain't forced on what I can do with these eggs or what I can do with this milk. Now, oh, wait, milk. Somebody tell me about milk, because that's milk and eggs is one of my biggest ones that I can't wait to do. Guava Kizzy's place, how you doing? Okay. Sharon Compton say yes, and it tastes good. Ricky Spence says once power goes out for good, it's too late in my opinion. What's too late, Ricky Spence? When the power goes out for good. And the power won't go out for good if you prepare yourself with your solar power generators. So let's be realistic. If you really want to get technical with it, you can run that freeze dryer off of solar power. If you have the right amount of solar power and you have the right setup, you could be running your freeze dryer for free. True story. I'm asking for everybody's advice because I'm not a professional at none of this, okay? Denise is not sure about electricity to freeze dry. You must not own any solar. I'm telling you, invest in solar power. Bonnie Swanson says, freeze dry your leftovers. There are some rules just like canning, but it's nice to have that option. And you know something, what I was looking at, you can freeze dry your food and all of it is not going to be 25 years sustainable. But with your leftovers, all you needed to do is last another week or so. Some of this stuff don't even need a Mylar bag. You need to freeze dry it, put it in a jar or put it in a Ziploc bag for next week until you really get hungry and ain't nothing in the refrigerator to eat. Everything does not have to be stored away for doomsday. Some of this stuff we wish out. Don't let no lasagna or no meatloaf go bad in this house. I won't stop cussing for at least 48 hours. If some lasagna or some meatloaf go bad in this house, everybody gonna catch it for the next 48. What if you freeze dry food and vacuum seal it? That's kind of what you're supposed to do. Let's see. You got to seal up your freeze dry food or it will absorb moisture from the air and reconstitute itself over time and spoiling and making you sick. Say Monica Richards says canning is how you prep meals for situations where you lose electricity. You can still prep meals for your family. Freeze dry allows you to preserve almost anything and is long term up to 25 years. Thank you for that, Monica Richards. Now I'm getting all of y'all opinions, okay? I've given y'all the reasons why I purchased what I purchased, and I want y'all to have the floor because I am not a professional. I have never freeze dried anything before on purpose. But okay, let's see. Oh, okay. James says, I know you can't eat silver, but I'm reluctant to sell off some to buy a freeze dryer. You want to hear something? I'm selling several things, man, to help me purchase my freeze dryer right now. I kid you not. I'm letting go of some things, a couple of generators, because I got enough generators. I need a freeze dryer. I can't make this up. All right, what is the cost of running a freeze dryer? How many hours will it take to freeze dry? I did a little bit of research, and depending on where you live and depending on your area and everything else, it's roughly about $2 per day or $2 per use per day $2 per day of use. There you go. $2 per day of use with the high inflation prices of today. Roughly. So that's a good question that everybody either says Homestead Hart and Mr. and Mrs. Hart. They have done both. They're located in Georgia. That's right. Don't blow their spot up though. Don't tell where they at. Okay. Okay. Julie Mayberry says big box store has $27 freeze dry food. I've been picking up one a month for them. But that's what we just did. Go back to the beginning of this video when I break down the prices of the costs, and it's gonna hurt your brain when you see the price of purchasing your own freeze dry food versus just going. If you can see me, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me and hear me, give me 2 thumbs up. If you can see me, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me and hear me, give me 2 thumbs up. If you can see me, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me and hear me, give me 2 thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. We're having windstorms out here right now, and it knocked something out. Thank you, everybody, for sticking in here with me. I don't know what happened, but that was real crazy. Okay, my Wi-Fi was still on and everything. Everything is. I got 2 ways. I got 3 ways. If one Wi-Fi kick out, my Nomad kick in. If my Nomad don't kick in, my T-Mobile kick in. It cut off everything. So I don't know what that was. That was a straight blackout. Normally I start buffering, but this time it literally kicked me all the way out. I don't know what that was. But let's move on. Thank you, everybody, for the confirmation. You can hear me and see me. Thank you. Let's keep it going. I'm reading y'all comments, okay? Let's get back to reading y'all comments and y'all thoughts. I've said enough. I'm listening to y'all now. If Black's Tropical Homestead is still in the house, I sure appreciate y'all for helping me out with this video because you know I don't know no good. Kelly JB says suggestion on site to buy freeze dried foods if we are just starting. I don't understand your question. Suggestion on site to buy freeze dried foods if we are just starting and have no freeze dryer. You got a question mark, but I'm not quite sure how you worded that unless I'm just reading it wrong. Okay. All right. Oh, Fatima says it's happening to Facebook as well and other YouTubers' lives. They're here. They've landed. They're here. I believe it. Okay, Monica Richards says if you live in the city and you want to buy a freeze dryer, the machines are expensive, ranging between $1,000 to $2,000 plus dollars. Where you live at? I'll be over there in a minute. Let me know where you at. Between $1,000 to $2,000. Holla at me. So best to rent it out to people. Nah, you don't go renting stuff. That's like renting your refrigerator. Let's talk about something. What are the benefits of the oil-free pump? And Keisha Gregory said, what are the benefits of the oil-free pump? Maintenance, maybe. Yes, maintenance. And I have no intentions on purchasing that. What's hard about unscrewing a screw, letting the oil out the bottom, put the screw back on, and put more oil in the top? I'm not paying another $1,600 for. It ain't that convenient. I'll start with my own normal pump. And if I feel the need and I get that bougie and my pinky start hanging out, yeah, but I don't see it. Okay, Angie says the company allows you to make payments. Once it's paid off, they ship it to you. Layaway. Okay, I get what you're saying. That's good. Somebody still do layaway. And I'm sure there's no refund policy on that. C. Dean says don't get the oil free. I don't want to talk about sun, y'all. I don't want to talk about none of that. That don't got nothing to do with canning. That's all weird conspiracy stuff I don't want to talk about. Nobody in here is a scientist. If you can prove you're a scientist, let's talk about it. But we're gonna stay on track. We're only talking about canning, not politics, not conspiracies, none of that. Okay. So I was thinking about yeah. You know what? Okay. All right. Glory to God. Homestead says besides the non-oil pump costs so much more, it doesn't make up for the maintenance, which is really easy, by the way. Okay. I want to say something while everybody's getting their bearings back and coming back into the room. It's an appliance. How many people got a refrigerator? You know what it does. You got a deep freezer, you got a washer, you got a dryer, you probably got a dishwasher, you got a garbage disposal, you got an air fryer, you have a microwave. This is an appliance. So this is something that didn't bother. It's crazy. This is something that happened years ago, and I did understand, which was this. They don't make an appliance that's not expensive. If you don't have a freeze dryer, Deborah, we spoke about that in the earlier part of the video, and we're trying to come up with a part about it's the savings part of it. It's in the very beginning of the video about purchasing your own. That's very true, but okay, let me see. No, Wazara, you did not see on Amazon. You didn't see a freeze dryer for $220. No, you did not. There's no such thing, okay? That was probably a dehydrator. For everybody that don't know, a dehydrator and a freeze dryer, apples and oranges, two entirely different things. Please don't entertain that. That's not true. Please don't entertain that, gentlemen. That's not true. There is no such thing as a $200 freeze dryer. And if there was a $200 freeze dryer on Amazon, I wouldn't buy it. Oh, there you go. I wouldn't buy that. Okay, so we talked about that. Oh, I'm way behind. I'm way behind. So, okay. Okay, Miss Nadine says, I'm in the Caribbean. I want a freeze dryer so bad, but that three plus tag will take me a while. So will purchasing a car or a refrigerator. Listen, this ain't for everybody because it hasn't been for me in years. Listen, I started looking at freeze dryers probably 10 to 15 years ago, and I still haven't purchased one. I'm just now getting up the guts and the nerves to do it. And I'm going to tell you why. It ain't the money. I had the money back then. I just couldn't justify the price. I couldn't justify it. I couldn't justify the price until this hurricane tapped on my back door and put us out of power for almost a week. That's when I really started really hitting home with, man, if I really have to get up and go. Thank you, Delisha. Thank you. Said, can't waste a candle, light, match, flat. Exactly. If I have plenty of food, I have plenty of stores. I cannot pick all of that up by myself and get up and go. I can get some of it. I can get a lot of it. But did y'all see? Let's talk about something. How many people saw how fast those flood waters rose all in North Carolina, South Carolina? Did anybody see that? People's porch cameras and ring cameras and doorbell cameras was picking it up live. And it was like 1 second, it's raining hard. Literally second number 2, you can't see their grass anymore. Second number 3, the mailbox is snapping off. Second number 10, this dude's pickup truck is floating down his yard. I watched a flood go from 0 to 60, literally from 0 to 60. I'm going to say in less, what the guy said, it was something like 10 or 15 minutes, the neighborhood cars was floating in front of the house. In 10 and 15 minutes, how much stuff can you grab and put in your car and leave safely in 10 or 15 minutes? That has been my nightmare for the last 3 weeks. In 10 minutes, how much stuff can you load up and leave in 10 minutes? That's important now. Food, water, gear, bug out bag, like never coming home bag, not just your everyday carry. Answer that. Excuse me. You say at that point, get on the roof, but that don't always help either. So I know what I'm saying is not perfect. And you cannot prepare for absolutely everything. I'm just trying to put something on your temple. That's all. And I'm justifying it for myself, for my investment. It's not a purchase. It's an investment. I need you to understand that. Just like you got a refrigerator, you need to keep your food cold. You got a deep freezer. You got a washer and dryer to keep your clothes clean. This is one of those things for me. I stopped canning on videos. I'm going to tell you why I stopped doing canning videos. And maybe y'all can understand. I stopped doing canning videos a long time ago because I'm not a professional. I'm not a teacher. I've never tried to teach anybody how to can. I just showed you my journey after I learned how to can. The problem with canning is everybody does something a little bit different. And if you're not doing it their way, I will have 1,700 people in a live stream telling me what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing. You don't do it like that. My grandmama used to do it like this. You messing it up. That's dangerous. For the newbies, y'all OGs, you want to pat on the back so bad that you're scaring new coming canners. You're not helping them, you're scaring them. And it makes them nervous and they screw things up. I stopped doing canning videos because I can't stand the egos of some people. The egos are just unnecessarily blown up when it comes to canning. I had 1,700 people in a live stream telling me I'm messing up, you screwing up, that ain't how you do it, you gonna hurt yourself, you gotta watch the jiggler, no, watch the screen, no, watch the jiggler, no, watch the pressure gauge, no, cut the heat down. Man, shut up. I was like, you know what, I'll never do that again. And then you got a bunch of new canners that this is their first time. Y'all make them more scared to be prepared, trying to I don't know, trying to get your stripes on your shoulder or something to say you the best at canning. That's not what we should, that's not our goal. Okay? That's not our goal at all. Our goal is to help each other learn this skill. It's a skill. And that's our goal. Not the pat on the back thing. And that's what a lot of people I saw was looking for that kind of drove me away from doing it on camera. No more of that for me. Okay? Yeah, I've never stopped canning. That's why I always pull out food and show it to you. I've never stopped. I just don't do it on camera anymore. Just like I don't show freedom makers anymore. People be wondering why I don't show freedom makers. Man, there's some weirdos out there, man. Telling you, there's some weirdos out there that do not want to see you either learn anything or achieve anything. And you gotta know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. I'm cool. I don't need to show anybody anything. I know what I got. I know what I do. And putting it on YouTube I hope it can bless somebody else. But I don't have to do it. So I just stop. I stop with the freedom makers. I stop with the canning. And people think, oh, you done sold your land? No. What happened? You don't can no more? I can all the time. People too weird to be showing them everything you do, man. On social media. The only one that I could listen to out of all the people that I seen all over the YouTube internet was my friend Homestead Heart. She was the only one I trusted to show me how to pressure can. And there was another one, Granny Karma. If y'all know who Granny Karma is, it was Granny Karma and it was Homestead Heart. Them was the only two people I listened to. I was going to ask somebody else to help me. Her ego was so weird and bizarre, and I thought she was my friend. I left her alone. Like, you need to pull that stick about your butt before we have another conversation. So I let that one woman alone. But Homestead Heart and Granny Karma taught me how to pressure can. And I showed my wife, taught my wife. My wife can water bath can, but she couldn't pressure can. Neither one of us could. So I showed my wife on a video what I learned and I taught it to her. Okay? All right. So I don't want to hold y'all too long. I just wanted y'all's ideas. I wanted to give you what I've been working on, and I wanted to hear you guys' take on freeze dryer versus pressure canning, water bath canning. This is my verdict. Both are a necessity. Both are a necessity. I think That is that is that was important to me. Okay. So if you guys have any other input that on a decision I should make, please let me know before we call this a day. Keisha said, let me go on and put mine on layaway. Right? Right? Say you can put a freeze dryer on layaway. A gardener's journey. Homestead has a video on it. Okay. Hey, Miss Shirley OG Gardner, how you doing today? G Cole says you're leaning towards stay fresh. What is that? Oh, I got a question, everybody. I got a question before we go. Don't leave yet. What's the name of the other freeze dryer? There's Harvest Right and there's one called Blue something. Has anybody heard of the other one? Sharon Compton says get a medium. I'm leaning on medium and small. And I know why a lot of people say don't get the small, get the biggest one you can get. I'm leaning, and it's not the money, it's something else. Lisa Nelson, thank you, Lisa Nelson. She says, you got me started with canning lead. I remember the canning parties. We all had a laugh. Right, we all was laughing at you, lead, gonna get botulism jokes, right? We all canned together and took the fear out of it. That's right. All of us newbies did that. Thank you for that, AM Art Sport. Blue Alpine is another one. I don't know anything about them. Does anybody know anything about the Blue Alpine freeze dryer? Anybody own one? Let's see. Chime Moss, I'm gonna remove that, okay? Because I don't wanna YouTube to scratch that one. Okay, Bonnie Swanson says, I got a medium. I'm glad I didn't go smaller. Okay, Bonnie Swanson. Bonnie Swanson, you really poking at me. A friend of mine told me they wish they didn't get the medium. They wish they would have got the large. If Black Tropical Homestead was still in here, I would like to know what size they have. I don't know if they've ever mentioned it. Okay, Georgia Girl said, we have a small one and it works for the two of us. That's kind of where I was going. That's where I was going. Donna, the freezer would be useful for you. You can freeze dry some of the fruit that you showed in another video. That's one of the biggest reasons I'm getting it, because I'm tired of wasting fruit. Say, I think the 5 trays is in the medium. The new mediums have 5 trays in them. The new updated smalls have 4 trays. And the new updated larges have 6 trays. I'm telling you, I've been on this hard. Glory to God says, I started freeze drying my canned goods when they get a little older. I've had a freeze dryer for a long time and they're very well together. Let me tell you something. Glory, can I tell you something that you just brought up and mentioned? And I was thinking this. I have some food stores. I have some food stores, and in jars, they are pressure canned. And I was thinking, if I get this doggone, well, not if, when I get my freeze dryer, some of them jars gotta go. I would like to have that stuff freeze dry, because I got a lot of meatloaf. I got a whole bunch of brisket, beef brisket. I would like that freeze dried because it's taking up so much space. It's delicious, but it's taking up so much space. And I want to cut that area and that space down at least by half, if I could. Let me see. I'm way behind, y'all. Sharon Compton says Alpine is a good one. Does anybody own Blue Alpine? Anita Sampson says large and extra large needs own socket in your fuse box. I've heard that. The large and the extra large, you have to have a dedicated circuit just for them. I heard that. They're 120, but they need a dedicated socket. I've heard that. Bonnie Swanson, if I could have, I would have gotten large. Okay. That may be pushing it for me, though. Wanna be crafty grandma says you have way too much food, you will regret the medium. Okay, Paula says Black's Tropical Homesteads have the medium harvest right. All right. Anita Sampson, always get bigger if you can't afford from all the stuff. I've seen folks fall in love with it. Yeah. Would the amount of stuff dictate your size? What do you mean by the amount of stuff? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. What is the best place to purchase a freeze dryer if not on Amazon? Go to Harvest Right, the company. Trust me, these big box stores, they rip your pockets off. I would go to Harvest Right, because all the big box stores, the blue one, the orange one, and all the other ones in between, they tack on an extra $300 for some reason. So you can always freeze dry canned goods. That's what I'm going to do. Bonnie Swanson, buy extra trays, stacker silicone mats and lids for the trays would be nice. I didn't at first, bought them after first season. I agree. I've been watching that, and I totally agree. Because I will be doing a lot of freezing first, pre-freezing, to cut down on my time. Do you need a separate room to freeze dry? Some people are irritated by the sound because they can be a little, not loud, but like your washer and dryer going. And some people don't want to be sitting around that all day. So that's totally up to your tolerance level. Say, not really does a fridge need a long circuit. Your refrigerator does not pull the wattage and the initial wattage that a freeze dryer pump is going to pull. Like your stove needs its own circuit. That's kind of where we at here. Your dryer, right? Your dryer initially is going to pull a lot of wattage. That startup, it's the surge is what gets it. And if you try to go drying, cut your dryer on, and then you got it's on another circuit with something else. Now you cut on your air fryer, you're gonna keep on popping that fuse. So that's why they want a dedicated circuit for things with that kind of surge on it. Glory says, I have a medium size as well, and it's been good. Miss Nadine says, Led, I don't cook, and I want the medium or the large because I will be going ham on preserving my mom's food when she cooks for me. Matter of fact, go give your mama a big old hug and a kiss. Go tell your mama you love her. Oh, DT freeze dryer on batch 284 now. That's what I want to hear. Denise Brown, do you need a separate room to freeze dry? We answered that. Oh, I'm behind. Let me get all the way to the bottom here. Let's get all the way to the bottom. Patricia Blessed Girl says, we just bought a large and received it a couple of weeks ago. So we are learning. Okay. Okay. I'm going to move that. Okay. Glory says, I think you'll be satisfied with the medium. I think so. And it ain't the price. That's not the problem right now. I'm not going to be doing this every day, all day, just like my pressure canners. I don't pressure can. I'm not a canner like that. But when I have extra food or extra fruit, or when the season comes in, I do my canning. And that's kind of how I'm going to use this freeze dryer. Said, with my research, you can refilter the same oil. Okay. That's not even the biggest problem. Okay, Glory says large has only one more tray. It doesn't take that much difference make that much difference in the long run. You just do another 5 trays when you're done. I agree. Rosalind said Costco upcharges for the harvest right. Yes, them too. Much as I love going to Costco, they stick it to you. Yes, they do. Said medium is perfect for most people. Okay, I believe that. Hi, Jenny. Look at how much food each cooks before making your decision. Look at how much food each cooks. I think I know where I'm going. I think I know what I'm going to do. What freeze dryer I recommend? None. I don't know. I'm learning too, my friend Roger. I don't recommend anything. Said Costco, Wannabe says Costco had $600 off earlier this month. Yeah, but they're marked up an extra $600 too, though. So you'll be getting it for normal price that you could get it anywhere. I've been watching them. I don't like some of the stuff they do. I've seen them. They even had them inside the store on the floor, and I was not interested. So Harvest Right usually gives you extra trays when you order from them direct. Okay, that's good to know. Better to have in climate control area. I've heard about that. It because the hotter it gets, the longer it takes it to well, that's just like your refrigerator. The ambient temperature in the room makes your refrigerator run harder. Some folks never thought of that, but it's the truth. Like this hot sun is baking my refrigerator, and that's why it's always running. I'm going to remodel this soon. I've been saying that for years, but I am. I'm loving all of this information, y'all. So also Harvest Right has rock solid warranty if you buy direct from them. Woo. Okay. So I think we've nailed it, y'all. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's been in here with me and giving me all this wonderful information. And you'll be getting a freeze dried 2 3C. Good. So let me see. Okay. So thank you guys. If you have any more information that you would like to share with me and everybody else that's this curious about the freeze dryer, put it in the comments section below because a lot of people out here want to know about it. Okay. So please share that information. People like me, put your information in the comment section below after the video. All right. Laird Farmer 73. I love y'all and I'm out. Have a wonderful day. Peace and stay safe. Definitely stay safe.